I'm a 28-year-old man from a family marked by a long and tangled history of favoritism. My younger sister, Lily, aged 25, has always been the apple of my parents' eyes, particularly my father's, leaving me in her shadow. This imbalance began in our early years and only deepened as we grew older. Lily was always the cherished one, a pattern that shaped our childhood. For instance, when I was 5 and she was 2, my parents threw her a lavish birthday bash complete with professional entertainers, an inflatable castle, and a mobile zoo. My birthday that same year? A simple store-bought cake and a quiet family dinner. This disparity set the tone for our upbringing. As we matured, the favoritism became more pronounced. Lily always got the latest gadgets, trendiest clothes, and the lion's share of attention. I remember saving up my allowance for months at 10 to buy a bike. When Lily saw it and threw a tantrum, instead of teaching her patience or the value of earning, my parents promptly bought her a shinier, more expensive bike. School was another arena where the bias was stark. My parents attended every one of Lily's events, from recitals to parent-teacher meetings, but often skipped mine. In 4th grade, I landed the lead role in the school play and rehearsed tirelessly, eager to shine. On the night of the performance, my parents arrived an hour late, missing my big moment because they were tending to Lily, who claimed she felt unwell. She was fine later. They had simply lost track of time doting on her. Academically, my achievements seemed invisible. I earned straight A's in middle school, joined the math club, and won first place at a regional science fair, yet my parents barely acknowledged these milestones. Meanwhile, when Lily managed a B+ in her weakest subject, they threw her a celebratory dinner and gifted her a new phone to motivate her. High school was particularly tough. I threw myself into every activity, maintaining a 4.0 GPA, serving as editor of the school newspaper and captaining the debate team, hoping to win their approval. Lily, by contrast, skated through with a C average, spending most of her time socializing. In my junior year, I was one of 2 students selected from my university for a prestigious summer program at Harvard, an incredible honor. When I shared the news at dinner, my dad muttered about it and shifted the conversation to Lily's upcoming dance recital. My mom offered a brief, "That's nice," before moving on. When the program started, my parents couldn't drive me to the airport because Lily's recital was the same day, so I arranged a ride with a friend's parents. The college application process was another painful chapter. I poured months into perfecting my essays, boosting my extracurriculars, and preparing for the SATs. I earned acceptances to top-tier schools and a substantial scholarship to my dream university. At dinner, when I shared this, my parents' response was lukewarm. "That's great, but don't let it go to your head. College isn't everything," my dad said. My mom added, "Just don't forget about us when you're off being a hotshot." Yet when Lily barely graduated high school and opted out of college, they praised her for knowing herself and defying societal norms, even buying her a car as a graduation gift, something they never offered me. The emotional toll of this favoritism was immense. Through my teens and early 20s, I grappled with anxiety and depression. Therapy in college helped me realize their behavior wasn't my fault, and I worked hard to build self-worth independent of their validation. Despite their neglect, I carved out a solid life, graduating college with honors, landing a good finance job, and buying my own home by 27. I'm proud of my accomplishments, even if my parents aren't. The drama escalated recently when my grandfather on my dad's side passed away. A self-made businessman, he left a substantial estate. His will divided his assets equally among his grandchildren, me, Lily, and our cousins, and his children, including my dad and his siblings. My share, roughly $500,000, was life-changing, offering opportunities to clear my student loans, invest, and perhaps start a business someday. I was thrilled at the possibilities. But when the will was read, my parents were visibly upset. They pulled me aside, claiming it was unfair that I received an equal share. They argued that Lily, who lives in their basement and works part-time at a cafe, needed the money more because she was struggling. Stunned, I explained that this was Grandpa's decision, not theirs. They insisted I do the right thing and give my share to Lily. When I refused, they unleashed a barrage of guilt, calling me selfish and ungrateful, listing every minor way they'd supported me, like paying for my medically necessary braces or school supplies, which I'd supplemented with part-time work. They conveniently ignored the car they bought Lily, her frequent shopping sprees, and their ongoing financial support for her at 25. The situation escalated when my dad, the executor of the will, announced he'd interpret Grandpa's intentions and redirect my entire share to Lily, claiming Grandpa would have wanted this if he knew our unique situation. I was devastated, not just by the illegality, but by how little they valued me. I pointed out that Grandpa treated all his grandchildren equally and knew our circumstances, but my mom accused me of disrespecting his memory by suggesting otherwise. They claimed Grandpa had privately worried about Lily's future, but when I asked why he didn't write the will that way, they had no answer. Lily, meanwhile, seemed uncomfortable but didn't challenge them, saying, "Mom and Dad know best." Talking to her privately yielded no support. Desperate, I turned to my paternal grandmother, Grandpa's widow, for advice. She was furious upon hearing my parents' plan and clarified that they had no legal right to alter the will. She revealed that years earlier, my parents had tried to convince Grandpa to leave everything to Lily. He'd firmly refused, insisting all his grandchildren deserved equal treatment. He even included a clause in his will stating that anyone contesting the equal distribution would forfeit their share. Armed with this, I confronted my parents. Grandma's revelation about their past attempts shook them, and though my dad tried to justify it as looking out for Lily, their guilt was evident. Grandma acted swiftly, contacting the will's other executors and the attorney, as well as my dad's siblings who were equally outraged. Together, they halted my dad's scheme, ensuring the will was executed as written. My parents, though resentful, had to back down. They accused me of airing family laundry by involving others, claiming I'd turned the family against them. My mom wept, saying I'd fractured the family, while my dad threatened to cut me out of their will entirely and ban me from their home if I accepted the inheritance. In a painful jab, my mom said keeping the money proved I never loved them and was just waiting to profit from their deaths. The ordeal divided the extended family. Some cousins supported me, understanding the lifelong favoritism, while others felt I should have given in for the sake of family harmony. My dad's siblings backed me, straining their relationship with him. Lily, caught in the middle, privately admitted she felt bad but wasn't ready to defy our parents, conditioned as she was to rely on their approval. I don't fully blame her, but I wish she'd stand up for me just once. The situation has resurfaced old wounds, memories of overlooked birthdays, missed school events, and uncelebrated achievements. It feels like a lifetime of unfairness has culminated in this moment. Despite the family rift, I'm standing firm to claim my inheritance as Grandpa intended. My parents barely speak to me, and family gatherings are tense. I skipped our monthly family dinner last week, unable to face their coldness. Yet, for the first time, I feel empowered, confronting their unfair treatment and asserting my worth. It's both painful and liberating. The drama has triggered anxiety attacks I haven't experienced since college, and I'm considering resuming therapy to cope. Did I do the right thing by standing up to my parents and claiming my inheritance? Should I have given Lily the money to keep the peace? I'm tired of being the family scapegoat, but I fear losing them entirely. Any advice or perspective would be greatly appreciated. A lot has unfolded since my initial post, and I'm deeply grateful for the support and advice that kept me grounded. On the legal front, I followed recommendations and hired an attorney who confirmed my right to the inheritance and that my dad's actions were illegal. He helped me document everything and prepare for potential legal action, though thankfully, it didn't come to that. With my grandmother, her attorney, and my dad's siblings, the will was enforced as written. My dad was removed as executor due to his attempt to manipulate the distribution, a process that involved tense meetings and heated calls over weeks. My parents threatened to sue but ultimately backed down when the law proved clear. The family fallout has been significant. Initially, my parents doubled down, accusing me of greed and betraying Lily. They tried to turn relatives against me, spreading claims that I'd manipulated Grandpa into giving me money. Fortunately, most saw through their tactics. A particularly ugly incident occurred at a family gathering hosted by my aunt, who hadn't invited my parents. They showed up unannounced, and my dad started yelling about how I'd stolen from Lily and turned Grandma against them. My mom threw a photo album at my feet filled with old memories, claiming I'd ruined them. It was mortifying, and it took several relatives to de-escalate and convince them to leave. My grandmother has been my rock. She shared how Grandpa was always proud of my achievements and wanted equal opportunities for all his grandchildren. She revealed he kept a scrapbook of my successes, clippings of my academic awards, my college acceptance letters, even the program from that fourth-grade play my parents missed. It was bittersweet to learn this. Grandma also set the record straight with the extended family, hosting a meeting, without my parents, to detail their history of favoritism, including incidents I'd forgotten or never knew. Her validation of my experience was healing, though it reopened old wounds. Lily, surprisingly, found her voice. After soul-searching and talks with Grandma, she apologized for not supporting me sooner. She admitted our parents' favoritism was wrong, but said she'd been too scared to challenge it. We had deep, emotional conversations about our childhoods and how they shaped us. Lily confessed that being the favorite wasn't always a blessing. She felt stifled, never learning independence because our parents did everything for her. This marked a turning point for us. We now meet regularly for coffee, rebuilding our sibling bond. In a stunning move, Lily announced she'd use her inheritance to attend college, inspired by my stand. She enrolled in a community college, planning to transfer to a 4-year university, a decision that shocked our parents, who realized their coddling hadn't served her. My parents' reactions have been mixed. Initially, they lashed out, guilting Lily for abandoning them by pursuing college and blaming me for turning her against them. When that failed, my mom began to soften. After talks with Grandma and starting therapy, she's acknowledged some of her unfairness and reached out to reconcile, apologizing and asking for a chance to make amends. It's a slow process, and I'm cautious but hopeful, maintaining firm boundaries. My dad, however, remains unapologetic, insisting he did nothing wrong and that Lily and I should be grateful. He's distant, refusing to be in the same room as me and skipping family events. It hurts, but I'm learning to let go of trying to change him. The extended family dynamics have shifted. I've grown closer to my dad's siblings and some cousins, who've shared their own struggles with my dad's behavior, making me feel less alone. We've started a monthly cousin dinner to connect without the older generation's drama. I've used my inheritance wisely, paying off my loans, investing with a financial advisor, and setting aside funds for a potential future business. I'm exploring opening a community center with affordable mental health services and financial literacy programs. Most meaningfully, I've funded therapy for myself and offered the same for Lily, helping us heal from our childhood and set boundaries with our parents. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.